Welcome to the third smartwatch module, V15. Before starting V15, please make sure that you have reviewed the first and second smartwatch modules, V13 and V14. Additionally, please make sure that you have submitted your first assignment to the Patent Sharks. If so, then let's proceed. Welcome back, Shark. Congratulations on completing the first assignment for the smartwatch module. Before we proceed any further, please review this set of materials in the following order. V15, which analyzes the office action. Then proceed to V16, which analyzes the Patent Shark claim amendments, and which also analyzes the prosecuting attorney's actual response to the office action, as filed with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, or USPTO. Then, please proceed to V17 to get an understanding of what a continuation is, and the reasons for filing such continuation. After that, please access your second assignment. Now, let's revisit the claims of this case. Let's refresh our memory. As you may recall, there are three independent claims in the smartwatch case. Independent Claim 1 states, a smartwatch comprising a wristband, a base including a housing, a processor, and a wireless transceiver. Then we have a tactile user interface, a flip-up portion, which includes a top display and an inside display, and lastly, a camera that is coupled to the flip-up portion, the flip-up portion forming a viewfinder for the camera, and configured to display information regarding an image within the viewfinder. Claim 5, as you may recall, is similar to Claim 1, but is of varying scope. For example, Claim 5 does not include an element found in Claim 1. That element is a camera. Claim 13 is also similar to Claim 1, but is of varying scope. For example, Claim 13 does not include elements found in Claim 1. These elements are a top display, an inside display, and also a tactile user interface. Therefore, Claims 5 and 13 are broader than Claim 1, as they require less elements or features than Claim 1. After revisiting the claims, let's summarize the rejections applied by the examiner. As you may recall, there are a total of 4 rejections. There is one 102 rejection, which we said is an anticipation rejection, and there are 3 103 rejections, which we've stated previously are obviousness rejections. Now these are: number 1, 102 rejection. Claims 5, 8, and 9 rejected as being anticipated by Cheng. Claim 5 being an independent form. 2, 103 rejection. Claims 6, 7, and 12 were rejected as being unpatentable over Cheng. All 3 of these claims are dependent claims. 3, 103 rejection. Claims 10 and 11 were rejected as being unpatentable over Cheng and Mihara. Both of these claims are dependent claims. And the 4th rejection, which is a 103 rejection, where claims 1 to 4, 13 to 15, and 19 were rejected as being unpatentable over Cheng and Sato, where claims 1 and 13 are in independent form. Also, we note that the independent claims were rejected once. Claim 5 were rejected in the first rejection, and claims 1 and 13 were rejected in the 4th rejection. Once again, there are a total of 4 separate and distinct rejections. And this is very important to remember because when you respond to an office action by drafting an amendment, which we'll discuss later, a patent practitioner must respond to each and every rejection in order to submit a complete response to the USPTO. Now, after reviewing each of these 4 rejections, let's look at the references. For the sake of simplicity, we will focus our efforts only on the 4th rejection. The 4th rejection involved a combination of the Cheng and Sato references. The Cheng reference was used by the examiner to teach a wristband, a base, the base including the housing, the processor, and the wireless transceiver, a tactile user interface, and a flip-up portion which included the top display and the inside display. On the left-hand side, Figure 5 of Cheng depicts a wristband and a tactile user interface. Now on the right-hand side, Figure 6 of Cheng depicts a flip-up portion. Therefore, the examiner, it appears that is correct. Cheng does teach or suggest these elements as evidenced by at least Figures 5 and 6 of Cheng. So, thus the examiner stated that Cheng teaches the wristband 20, the base having the housing 11, the processor 125, the transceiver, which is referred to in paragraph 33 of the specification of the smartwatch, as well as the tactile user interface 123, and the flip-up portion 12. And the flip-up portion 12 includes a top display 111A and an inside display simply 111. The examiner admitted that Cheng does not teach or suggest a flip-up portion forming a viewfinder for the camera, and which is configured to display information regarding an image within the viewfinder. Instead, the examiner relied on Sato to cure the deficiencies of Cheng. Well, let's go to Sato. In the figure of Sato, illustrated here, the examiner directs our attention to elements 10 and 11 to teach or suggest a flip-up portion forming a viewfinder for the camera, and configured to display information regarding an image within the viewfinder. This is a correct observation by the examiner. After reviewing the detailed description section of the specification of the smartwatch, it is evident that such feature is indeed taught by Sato. Therefore, based on the observations made by the examiner with regard to Cheng and Sato, let's revisit independent claim 1 once again. Again, claim 1 states a smartwatch comprising a wristband, a base including a housing, a processor, and a wireless transceiver, a tactile user interface, a flip-up portion, including a top display and an inside display, and lastly, a camera that's coupled to a flip-up portion. So, once again, it appears that the examiner is correct. It appears that the combination of Cheng and Sato does teach or suggest all of the elements currently found in independent claim 1. Therefore, how should we proceed in response to the examiner's rejections? Should we introduce new features to the independent claims? Note that such features must find support in the specification as filed. Should we expand on existing features already found in the independent claims? Can we roll over any features from the dependent claims into the independent claims and maybe slightly revise the language to overcome the applied combination of Cheng and Sato? Well, here's the deal. It appears that the claims need to be amended because the combination of Cheng and Sato does disclose all of the features as currently claimed in independent claims 1 and 13. It appears that we can expand on an existing feature with a slight revision in order to overcome this rejection. For example, one difference noted by the patent sharks is that the present invention includes a flip-up portion that forms a viewfinder for the camera when in the open position and is configured to automatically display additional information related to that image that was captured by the viewfinder. Well, let's look at the drawing to see if these features to see these features and to determine this distinction. On the left-hand side are figures 4 and 5 of the present disclosure. On the right-hand side are figures 6 and 7 of Sato. Figures 4 and 5, in combination with a detailed description of such features, indicates that when the flip-up portion is opened, additional information related to the image that is captured is automatically displayed on the display screen. Thus, if the image captured is of a product, such as, let's say, a soda can, the software automatically presents the user with additional information related to the product. For example, other promotions offered by the seller of such product. In contrast, as best seen in figure 6 and 7 of Sato, and as described by the Sato reference, it seems that the camera 10 cannot display additional information that's related to the image that was captured by the camera. So that's our visual comparison of such feature. Therefore, this would be sufficient difference to distinguish the present invention over the applied combination of Cheng and Sato in order to overcome the fourth rejection presented by the examiner. Now, don't forget, we only addressed the fourth rejection. There are 3 more rejections to address if we were to respond to the examiner in an accurate and complete manner in an amendment. However, to bring closure to this module, we will not refer to the rest of the rejections in detail. However, it is noted that this amendment presented to the claims would overcome all 4 of these rejections. Here's some additional thoughts. Make sure that the other references do not teach or suggest features you intend to add to overcome the applied combination of Cheng and Sato. In other words, make sure you consider the Mihara reference. Make sure that there is sufficient support in the specification for the proposed claim amendment. In other words, make sure that the other references do not depict or describe that when a flip-up portion is opened, that additional information related to that image is captured automatically that is displayed on the display screen. After carefully reviewing these references, it appears that the Mihara reference does not teach such feature. Therefore, the proposed amendments regarding the fourth rejection would also, as we mentioned, overcome all 3 rejections applied by the examiner. As a result, it seems that we are good to go with our proposed amendment. Well, Shar, congratulations. V15 is complete. Please proceed to V16 to get the additional materials. Thank you.